Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming to you with a flip through of my current K-pop journal. I started really getting into K-pop, specifically BTS and EXO, around mid to late November. And so this is actually just my journal from essentially the past month. I thought it would be pretty great to do a flip through here at the very start of the year, chronicling everything that I did in 2021. The current journal that I'm using is, I believe, one of the cheapest journals that they have at Michael's. So this is just essentially the Michael's bullet journal. So it is a grid dot journal that I think is around $5 or $6 at Michael's here in the States. But if you are looking for a journal, there are plenty out there, and there are probably some that are a whole lot nicer. This one just works really, really well for my purposes. And essentially what I really like to do is collage journal. I apologize that apparently I keep hitting my tripod, so I'm gonna try not to do that. But this is basically gonna take us through the month of December 2021. I was really, really inspired to journal in the past month, and I have just really been enjoying chronicling my journey with K-pop in this journal. So my first spread is all about BTS's Butter. This is one of my favorite spreads I've ever done in journaling, period, because I used a Dutch door. And I was really, really excited that that is something that actually worked the first time I tried it. And I was also really experimenting with hand lettering here, if that's in frame. And I know that my hand lettering is not the best, and you will see throughout this journal that actually in some places it appears to get worse. But I know that I have to keep doing it in order to get any better. I have to keep practicing. So this is my butter spread. This is the spread that I did for Jin's birthday. I actually have a journal with me for this spread. This is one of the first spreads that I did. In some ways, I still am really, really fond of it just because I adore this picture of him. But in others, I'm just so not happy with it. I was really into doing marker borders earlier this month, and I'm not really sure why. Not sure why I got into that. Throughout this video, if I can, I will link to products down below, but most of the images are images that I have printed. Certainly all of the pictures of the idols are ones that I have printed and picked out, but some of the washi tape I will try and link to down below. This is my favorite washi tape, which is the Phases of the Moon, but some others are kind of limited edition washi tapes that I unfortunately cannot link to. This is the spread I did for Kai's Peaches, which is an amazing mini album. If you have not listened to it yet, Kai is one of my favorite idols, and I just was so happy for him with this, and it's such a dreamy EP. But here I did a frame around him in washi tape, which I think is one of my big successes in journaling this year. I'm really, really proud of that. But as you can see, my hand lettering is awful. I messed things up here. This is okay. I'm not mad about this. This I'm mad about and I'm ashamed of. But again, practice makes perfect. I know hand lettering is something that takes a long time. This is another of my favorite spreads. And I think, honestly, all of my favorite spreads are Baekhyun. I really should be doing a tally as I go through this and seeing which are my favorite idols, because I've genuinely always thought that Baekhyun is my ultimate bias, and he is really, I think, truly my ultimate bias in K-pop in general, specifically because this was the first time I saw him. Coco Bop was actually the first K-pop song that I ever heard years and years ago, and I resisted then. I resisted the impulse to get into EXO in 2017, only to totally fall in and become a complete XOL here at the end of 2021. This is memorializing his incredible look in Coco Bop. I used a paint chip here. I used to collect paint chips, and I really like using them in journal pages. I really love this era because it's so tropical and fun. So I just really love this page. It was so bright to get to do something like this in the wintertime. Next, I have two single page spreads. So this is when V from BTS dressed up as a Squid Game guard at one of the LA concerts, which was just incredible to me. This is my Vogue spread of Taemin from EXO, and I still feel as though it's incomplete. I really want some stickers. I really want some dots to really tie everything together. It's an incredible picture of him. It really honestly is. And he is definitely someone who always is serving model vibes. And so in general, I'm really happy with the page because I do think it looks like a magazine article about him, but I just feel as though it's unfinished, and that might be just because it's so simple. But it's also across from V as a Squid Game guard, which is one of my favorite pages, I think, because I loved how the Dalgonas came out and their shoes from the Glass Bridge game, if you've seen Squid Game. Next is a spread that I'm going to admit is a complete and utter mess. But we learn from our mistakes, don't we? So this is something that I wanted to do to commemorate the anniversary of the Love Shot video, which came out, I believe, December 13th, 2018. And so I did this on December 13th. And there are things about it that I like. I do really like my hand lettering here, and I was experimenting with making kind of a window pane, which in its own way, I guess, is a success. I just feel like it's a total and complete mess because I didn't measure anything properly and everything seems so off kilter to me. But this is an incredible picture of Suho from EXO. I really liked Suho in this music video, and this is my favorite music video of them. I say that hesitatingly because they have so many amazing music videos, but I think Love Shot is probably my favorite, and so I will definitely be doing more journal spreads based around that music video, so I'm not going to stress about this one. But Suho really blew me away in this. I think this is the video that everyone looks the best in, but I mean, Monster exists, so maybe everyone looks the best in the Monster music video. But so on the other side of my pane, it's nice you can see Suho through it, but I didn't do anything here, and I'm still not sure what to do with it. I was just so unhappy with the spread when I was making it, but I decided to go for kind of the iconic look of Kai in the red suit. This is also when I decided that Taemin was my bias. It was when I saw this video for the first time a few weeks ago, and I was just blown away by him in this video. So this was just a really great music video by EXO. Next is my spread on Namjoon's reading list in the new year. I am going to be working my way through all of Namjoon's reading recommendations because I'm also a massive bookworm. And so I have a couple of friends that we're gonna try to read through his recommendations. Namjoon is a really cerebral and literary person, as I think most of us know, very philosophical, and so I really have a fear that I'm going to struggle with some of the books that he's recommended. Ultimately, this has turned out to be one of my favorite spreads as well because I do love the coloring of it. These stickers are from the wonderful Moonchild on Etsy. I will link to her shop down below. They are from her June core set. I'm excited to start reading some of Namjoon's favorite works, but I am very intimidated. So here is my spread on Jimin and Suga in GQ. Not my favorite. I was experimenting with colors here, and I don't necessarily like journaling in colored pens, which I think sounds pretty strange, but I really don't like this screen, and I don't think it does justice to the incredible photo of Suga that is here. In BTS, Jimin is my bias, and I really, really loved this photo shoot of him, and I loved this interview, actually. I also really loved Suga's interview. Kind of made me emotional. So this is essentially Baekhyun in blue. So this is all about Delight, which is solo work of his, but this is from the Power music video, and I decided to do a flip up and cut the picture in 3, which I think is one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do in my journal. I also over here did a background of moons. Why, I don't know. I always, when I think of EXO though, think of space. I feel like this was a very experimental spread, and I'm really glad I did it. I love it so much. I say this in my journaling down here, but I really don't know if my favorite spreads are of Baekhyun because I just really love Baekhyun, or if really those spreads are very unique and are very creative for me. Okay, I know I've said everything is my favorite spread, but this is it. I mean, this is it. So I was using some paper here from Tim Holtz, which is like recycled wallpaper actually. And it also came with these really beautiful flowers that were in the pattern of the wallpaper. I thought this fits so well with Sayin from On Me in the On Me music video, where of course he is riding a horse. And I loved cutting out the horse to put it here on this background. It just really is so fairy tale like. I really now need to see him in a fairy tale retelling as a fairy tale prince. I mean, really, wow. I just was really happy with this and that the colors matched so well. Next are two one-page spreads. So over here, I did a spread for Kai and Overdose, which became kind of the song of the month for me when I discovered it. It's been so exciting this month getting to go back through EXO's discography in particular. I'm still exploring BTS's, but I just really love essentially everything that EXO has done. I would not skip a single song by EXO, but I think Overdose is potentially one of my favorites. And this is really about Kai because even though I love everyone in EXO, and I think they did an incredible job in Overdose because it is such amazing choreography and such amazing vocals. Even when I think it is someone else's moment, Kai comes in and steals it, you know? It's always Kai's moment to shine when choreography is involved, I think, and even not. Kai's just really charming and he has a real star quality to him, and there is a moment in this music video where he completely steals the show to me. So that's why I decided to make an Overdose spread all about Kai. This spread is, of course, about Suga from Vogue when the Vogue interviews were released, and I just misspoke. I don't think it was the GQ interview that made me emotional. It was this one. Suga just seems like a really kind and sweet soul, and I really love hearing what he has to say in interviews. I always find him really, really inspiring. And this spread is so confused to me, though, because I'm not sure why I went with birds. Not sure why birds are such a moment here with Suga, but I do enjoy it. Next is my Monster spread of Chanyeol and Sayin. Monster was another massive song of the month for me, and I think is one of my favorite music videos of theirs, specifically because of Chanyeol and Sayin. I was not prepared for this. The first time that I watched the Monster music video and the first time I heard it, I was not prepared for Chanyeol to come out as hard as he did. And in general, Seyun's voice is my favorite in EXO's. I don't know if that's controversial or not. And I know there are a lot of really great vocalists in EXO, but Seyun's voice is so cool, and I mean that in a lot of different ways, but it's interesting. Chanyeol often comes in really hot and hard, and then Sayin comes right behind him often in songs and immediately cools the vibe down, which I really appreciate, and I think is why he's one of my favorite vocalists in the group and why he is my bias. Chanyeol crept up on me. He was not someone that I thought was going to be a bias. I now feel like I have 4 biases in EXO, and the rest are bias wreckers, but here we are. But Chanyeol is one that crept up on me, and I really, really enjoy him. He's so, so talented. I will link to these moth stickers down below. I got them from a shop at Etsy, and I really love them. I just think they ground this spread, and it's really interesting. I can't make a spread without flowers, and so I'm happy that I actually had something that really went with the dark aesthetic of this photo shoot and the music video. Next, we have a spread on EXO's Lightsaber. I'm sorry, this was a moment, this was iconic. What a cultural reset, and I wasn't even there for it. I can't believe I wasn't an XOL in 2015 to have experienced this. This is clearly a collaboration with Star Wars. They did sort of a mini music video with it, which was so cute. I am obsessed with that mini music video, and it featured Sayin, Kai, and Baekhyun. The fact that I did not make Baekhyun the focal point of this spread is a point of pride for me. I really wanted it to be his moment, but I decided it actually really was Kai's. So I decided to stamp and make a frame for Kai. I'm not really sure that that worked out. But again, you can't be happy with everything. Everything is a learning curve, and everything is fun when you do it. I really enjoy doing this while listening to their music. So this was a fun spread. It's one that has fallen quite a bit for me because red is not really my favorite color, but I felt like I had to utilize red in this spread. And aren't you proud there are no flowers? I guess technically this stamp is a flower, but there were no flower stickers. Next are two more one-page spreads. So this spread was about the Christmas messages from BTS, specifically from Suga and Jimin. I thought Jimin's was so sweet and was something that I really needed to hear. Suga was just really funny, and he reminded us that it is a great time for clementines and tangerines at this time of year, which is true. This one-page spread is about Jin Young from GOT7. So this is about his reading list. When I was learning about Namjoon being a reader, I just stumbled across Jin Young, and I found out that he also really enjoys books. I think in general, Jin Young is the reader that I probably have more in common with in terms of K-pop idols, but I would be interested in reading his book list as well. Okay, I've said it a lot, but this might be it. Someone told me about Taemin when they found out that I was getting into K-pop. And there was a point of no return when I saw the Criminal music video, as I'm sure it was for so many people, and because he really fits with my aesthetic. And so this is my spread for Criminal. These flowers are also from Tim Holtz. These stickers are from Etsy. I will try to link down below to some of my favorite shops to get floral stickers from. In truth, this music video completely blew me away, and Taemin in general has completely blown me away. He is so incredibly talented. He's truly an artist that can do it all. He's a dancer, he's a singer, he's really involved in the creative process. The persona that he puts on when he is performing his music is just incredible. I was really blown away by this music video. Another two-page spread, because when I was looking up the Overdose photo shoot, I saw Dio's photos, and I just had to print them out because it was just incredible. And again, not quite sure why I went with daisies here, why I went with yellow flowers, a floral theme, not sure. Doesn't really seem to fit Overdose. But Dio is pretty, flowers are pretty. It just made sense. This is Sehun's iconic "I Can't Hear You" moment, which I finally watched the full episode of the other day, and I was laughing so hard. He and Kai just had me rolling. Another page on Taemin, this time about advice, which is amazing. I only listened to that song for the first time in the last week of the year, and I thought it's a shame to finally have heard the song of the year in the very last week of it, because Advice is such a banging song, and the lyrics are so incredible. It's so powerful, the song. And so I really like what I did over here. I wound up using a lot of word washi tape, and then I wrote the lyrics to the song behind. Best take my own advice, because there is kind of a gossipy nature to the song and being hurt by what others are saying about you. And so I really like how that turned out, and Taemin is just so glorious and so aesthetic. And Taemin's looks are just incredible. The visuals that he puts in these music videos, it's just incredible. And his workmanship, I really admire him as an artist. Last but not least, my last two spreads of the year were two one-page spreads. So this was again on Taemin, and I do believe this was also for Advice. This might have been a photo shoot for Advice. And I used these kind of cut-aparts, ephemera. I've never been quite sure why I bought them, and I've also never been sure what I would use them on, but something about them said Taemin to me, because they often have these really sweet words of advice attached to them. And Taemin seems very sweet. I finally invested in some space stationery, and maybe I will do a haul of that here soon, because I am so excited about it. But the instant that I knew that this was essentially going to become a mostly EXO journal, I decided that I needed more space stickers and more space stationery. So I finally did a one-page spread for Chanyeol, and this is from Don't Fight the Feeling, and I just absolutely love it. He's kind of on a desert planet here, and so it felt very Tatooine, and it felt very appropriate to put a moon on the page, to put my new constellation washi tape. I also got these. These are stickers that are the sky at certain times of day, and I really like them. They're very realistic. I thought they were going to be more illustrated, but really enjoying them. So I am now onto a blank page. I can start fresh for the new year. I am not halfway through the journal, though I think it looks like that, but I am expecting that I will likely finish this year, and maybe in the next few months. But that is my K-pop journal. I am looking forward to finishing it soon. I would love to know down below if you keep a K-pop journal, if you're someone who enjoys collaging. I would not call what I do bullet journaling. I guess some people would. I feel like what I do is more of an art journal, but I would love to know down below if you journal anything for K-pop, if you have an art journal, if you have a bullet journal. I'm really excited to hopefully get EXO's season's greetings in the next couple of weeks, and I might utilize the diary that's coming in that as a K-pop journal for the coming year as well. And so I will show you how I set that up if I decide to do that. But that's going to be all for me today. And hopefully I will see you soon in my next video.